Forget everything you know about vampires. The black capes, the gothic castles, the romantic Hollywood myths. Throw them out. Before Bram Stoker ever put pen to paper, deep in the isolated villages of the Carpathian Mountains, there was a much darker, much more real terror. The locals didn't write fiction about it, they lived in absolute fear of it. Meet the Strigoi, the undead. The true, terrifying ancestor of the modern vampire. This isn't just some blood-sucking aristocrat. The Strigoi is a restless, shape-shifting entity of pure malice. And the most terrifying part, they aren't always dead. They could be walking among us right now, breathing the same air, hiding behind a familiar face. You see, Romanian folklore divides them into two distinct, horrifying categories. First, we have the Strigoi, the living undead. These are regular humans, but they are cursed from the exact moment of birth. Born with a caul, a membrane over their face, or even a small, vestigial tail at the base of their spine. By day, they look just like your neighbor, but by night, their soul violently tears itself from their physical body. It wanders the dark roads as an animal or a floating light, meeting other Strigoi to battle each other with hemp stalks until the sun comes up. Then, there's the Strigoi morsi, the dead Strigoi. This happens when a living Strigoi dies, or if a regular person is buried without the proper protective rituals. They don't stay in the ground, they crawl back out, completely consumed by an insatiable hunger. They return to their own homes to drain the life force and blood directly from their surviving family members. So, how did a 19th century village know they were being hunted by one? The signs were undeniable. A sudden, unnatural drought. Livestock dropping dead in the fields for absolutely no reason. Or, most chillingly, healthy family members inexplicably wasting away, complaining of an unbearable pressure on their chests at night. When the panic set in, the villagers had to find the source. They would search the graveyard for disturbed earth, or small holes near the headstones where the creature would slip out as mist. But their ultimate detection tool was a bizarre ritual. They would bring a pure black or pure white stallion, ridden by a young boy who had never been married, into the cemetery. They guided the horse over the graves. If the beast suddenly reared up, panicked, and flat out refused to step over a specific mound, they knew the monster was right under their feet. Once they found it, protection took a lot more than just hanging a few cloves of garlic. The rituals required to stop a Strigoi were incredibly gruesome. The suspected corpse had to be exhumed at midnight. If the body was uncorrupted, bloated, or had fresh blood around its mouth, their worst fears were confirmed. The cure was absolute butchery. They would drive a heavy iron or ashwood stake directly through its heart to pin it to the earth. If that wasn't enough, they would remove the heart completely, burn it to ashes, mix those ashes with water, and force the sick relatives to drink it as a morbid medicine. You probably think this sounds like ancient forgotten history, right? Think again. The last highly documented, real-life Strigoi hunt, where villagers literally dug up a relative, removed his heart, and drank the ashes, happened in Romania in the year 2004. It made international news.
Bă, cum facem să o salvăm? Mergem la cimitir. Am plecat la 12 noaptea, l-am dezgropat, în 5 minute s-a schimbat la față, că era roșu. Barba a început să se crească, am găsit sânge proaspăt pe partea, cum era așa, pe partea stângă, la gură. Sânge proaspăt și când l-am desfăcut pe el acolo de l-am tăiat, înăuntru avea baltă de sânge. Sângele proaspăt, neînchegat. De aici, pe piept, cu coasa, îl tai cu coasa și iei inima. Îi desfaci coastele ca să poți să iei inima, că așa n-ai cum. I-am luat inima, am mers la un răscruci, am făcut focul, am omorât-o în furcă, am venit acasă, am făcut focul în bătătură, pe tablă, am făcut o scrum, am pisat-o și am făcut ceai și am dat fetii să bea. Și a doua zi dimineața, Fata a venit la mine și m-a chemat pe picioare. Hai, neamitrică, neamirce, hai să mâncăm și să bem. Hai, taică, gata. După aceea, fata și-a revenit.
The authorities stepped in, but the villagers swore their sick relative was instantly cured the very next morning. The Strigoi isn't just a spooky campfire story made up to scare children. It is a deeply ingrained, primal manifestation of our fear of death, disease, and the unknown. A reminder that sometimes, the monsters aren't hiding in some distant, fictional castle. They are buried in our own backyards. So, the next time you hear a strange scratch at your window in the dead of night, you better pray it's just the wind.